everybody. Now, welcome. This will be my final prediction for the Oscars 2024. Now, I'm very excited for this year. I mean, it's just so many great movies nominated, and I'm really rooting for to win. So let's start with the live action show. Now, I feel that finally Wes Anderson will win an Oscar because The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is going to be my pick. It's the most enjoyable of the shows. The other shows are pretty depressing, and this one just feels like a breath of fresh air. It is a fun story and it's memorable, and it has a great cast, and it has this beautiful Wes Anderson style. And I don't know how they don't give it to this show. I think it's the most enjoyable, the most beautiful of all the shows, and I think Wes Anderson really deserves it. Now, moving on to animated show. Now, my prediction here is War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Joku. But honestly, this show, it feels like something that has been made by a 12-year-old who discovered that war is bad and came up with this amazing concept of war is bad, what if we just did it? And we all love each other. And it just feels like so cheesy and so out of place when there's so much war and suffering going on in the world. And to kind of condense it into, oh well, what if we just did it? Feels like a slap in the face, and also the animation on this one feels like close to what is accepted as mainstream popular animation. It still have a unique style, but of all the animated show, this one is like the least interesting to me. Anyway, that's my prediction because that just feel like a show that the Academy will go for, and I think it's going to win. So I'm predicting that it will win. Now, when it comes to documentary short film, I think there are two very strong contenders: The Last Repair Shop and Naya Naya and Waipo. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Now, The Last Repair Shop is my personal pick and the one that I'm predicting to win. It's a beautiful story, and it will really pull on your heartstrings, and it's excellent for me. I find it to be very moving. Now, visual effects. Now, let's talk about the feature films and how many Oscars Oppenheimer is going to win. Hopefully all of them. But we're going to start out with visual effects, and an category that Oppenheimer is not nominated. And to me, there are two strong contenders here: The Creator and Godzilla Minus One. Now, I really do think it could go either way. My personal pick is The Creator. I mean, the movie is great, but visually it was like 10 out of 10. It looked fantastic. It's very creative. It's a very beautiful film, and I think it deserves the Oscar. However, there is such a strong passion behind Godzilla Minus One and the international voting of the Academy. And Godzilla Minus One is another film that looks fantastic, and I think is the one who is going to take the gold for best visual effects. So that's the one I'm predicting. Now, moving on to sound. And sound is an interesting one this year because there are two very strong contenders here: Oppenheimer and The Zone of Interest. Now, I think the safest choice would be Oppenheimer in this case. However, The Zone of Interest is just on another level. It just the sound there, what you do think of Oppenheimer as a movie with amazing sound and kind of the obvious choice in this category, because is nominated for so many things. However, the Zone of Interest creates an entire concept of a concentration camp from the sound. You don't see it. If you've seen the movie, you only hear it, and you see certain things imply, and it's done so well. So I'm predicting the Zone of Interest for best sound. Now, moving on to makeup and hairstyle. Now, could this go to Oppenheimer? It could, but I think they're going to do what they normally do and award the most obvious winner in this category, and that is going to be Maestro. I think that will be a very well deserved. That is my pick as well, and I think the makeup work is fantastic. There's so many stages of light on display. The older makeup looks flawless, and I think it's going to be the winner here. Next up, custom design. Now, this one and production design are tough to predict because I feel like for both of these is between Barbie and Poor Things. We could have Barbie winning both and or Poor Things winning both. Now, I'm going for the split here. For custom design, I think it's going to go to Barbie because costumes are so important to the actual story of that movie. The costumes are part of it, and they are iconic, and they mean so much to people who have seen these costumes on dolls. And there's so much attention to detail, and I think Barbie has been a clear leader in this category for half a year, because honestly, since its release, it has been the movie to be in custom design, and I think it's winning in this category. Now, when it comes to production design, my personal pick is Poor Things. That whole movie is one amazing display of production design. It's so memorable, it looks crazy, it looks beautiful, and it looks so real. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's fantastic, everything. When it comes to Barbie, the production design is impressive, but there's a lot of real world stuff that's just plain uninteresting in Barbie. And when it comes to Poor Things, the entire movie is just a visual feast of production design. And I'm predicting Poor Things winning in this category. Now, when it comes to original songs, our options are between Barbie and Barbie. And I think there is no doubt that What Was I Made For is going to win. And it has won so much already. Yeah, it's winning. Although I think I'm just kidding. It's the better sound for me on that movie. But I think that, yeah, Billie Eilish is winning here. So I'm predicting What Was I Made For winning Best Original Sound. Now, moving on to Original Score, one of the easiest categories to predict this year is Oppenheimer. Congratulations. Now, this is an unforgettable, amazing, beautiful score. I listen to it, and all the time since I watched that movie, it just is perfect. And of course, I'm predicting Oppenheimer here. I mean, can you hear the music? Can you hear it? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, moving on to documentary feature, I think this one is pretty easy as well. And 20 Days in Mariupol is going to be the winner here. And seeing this on the news and like the horror and just having a very hard time watching it, it's very heartbroken every day. And the footage from the people in Ukraine, this is very important and shocking documentary, and the one that people need to see. Now, this is winning here for best documentary feature. Now moving on to animated feature film. Now this one can get interesting here. Is it going to be The Boy and the Heron, or is it going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Now my pick is The Boy and the Heron. It's a beautiful film from the master of Japanese animation. I love Miyazaki, and I'm absolutely rooting for this movie to win. However, we all know Spider-Man is a very strong contender as well, and this could go either way. And the first Spider-Man in the franchise already has an Oscar. But I think because there's another Spider-Man movie coming, I think the first one already has an Oscar, and I think The Boy and the Heron is just a stunning film. I think I'm picturing that on stage, that and the Oscars winning. So I'm going for The Boy and the Heron in my prediction. Now moving on to best international feature film. Not even a competition here this time around, because there's only one clear winning here, and it's going to go to The Zone of Interest. Now next up is adapted screenplay, and I think this is between American Fiction and Oppenheimer. My pick for me is Oppenheimer. I love that film. It's my favorite film of 2023. Now I do think it's going to go to American Fiction. It is a film that clearly has a lot of love behind it, and this is the place where it can realistically actually win. So I just don't see it go home empty-handed. To Oppenheimer should win here, but I'm predicting American Fiction for best adapted screenplay. Now, original screenplay, this can get interesting as well. It in my mind is between Anatomy of a Fall and The Holdovers, and this one, you have two movies that have performed very well with the nomination. They both have 5 nominations each. There's so much love for The Holdovers. People adore that movie. On the other hand, the love for Anatomy of a Fall is insane, and to me should win original screenplay, because the screenplay for this is on another level. It's fantastic and so smart and so well written, and the way it unfolds and the choice of words, I think, is the obvious winner. But this is a real race here. But I'm going with Anatomy of a Fall for best original screenplay. I love that film. Now moving on to best film editing. Now this one is easy. It's going to go to Oppenheimer. I think it plays such a pivotal storytelling role in how it works and how everything comes together, especially for a movie that is 3 hours long. And I think everything, it was just so perfect. I think everything worked incredibly well, and by the end you feel that conclusion really satisfying. Now moving on to best cinematography, another category that is going to Oppenheimer easily. That one is in the back for sure. Now I really did love the cinematography on Poor Things. It was beautiful, but Oppenheimer is winning here. I mean, there's no competition really. Now actress in a supporting role. Now this one is easy. This is probably even easier than the score category. This one is going to Divine Joy Randa for The Holdovers. So well deserved. She has been dominating in this category, and when it comes to the other awards, there's no doubt. Let's be real, I'm really happy for her, because she's really the heart and soul of The Holdovers, and that is my prediction, and just so happy for her that she's winning here. Now, next is actor in a supporting role. This one is easy as well. Robert Downey Jr. has this on lock already, and I have been on Robert Downey Jr.'s team, on his team, since I saw him in Oppenheimer. I think that is the best performance of his career. I think he's fantastic on the film. So that is my prediction and my personal pick for winning Best Supporting Actor. Now, actors in a leading role, which this is the race that is probably the most interesting, and I have a very little confidence in picking the correct person here. It's such a close race and two different performances. One is very external, very physical, very showy as a performance. The other one is all internal and all just the power of premier and calmness, but also very strong and also an amazing performance. Both Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone define the movies they are in very different ways and make things complicated here. But I have to make a choice, and I think the winner is going to be Lily Gladstone. She's undeniable the standard of that film, and she's so different from the rest of the performances in Killers of the Flower Moon, and it plays in her favor. Her presence and her performance are so powerful. Also, it's going to be, if she win, it's going to be like a historic moment at the Oscars. So that's my who I'm predicting. Now, my personal pick is Emma Stone. I think she delivered the best performance of her life in Poor Things. But I think Poor Things is a very weird movie, and I think Lily Gladstone is winning here. So my personal pick is Emma Stone, but I'm predicting Lily Gladstone for Best Actress. Now, moving on, actor in a leading role. Once again, like with Robert Downey Jr., I have been on Team Cillian Murphy from the moment I saw him on Oppenheimer. I still am on his team. He's my personal pick, and I think he's going to win that Oscar. And Paul Giamatti didn't want the SAG, and that's very important. And he couldn't win the SAG, and I think Cillian Murphy's he's got this, and going to be upset if he doesn't get it. Paul Giamatti is great. However, in this case of these two performances, I think Cillian Murphy is undeniable, and his work is just on another level. I think he's winning here, and that's my prediction for Best Actor. I mean, he is Oppenheimer. He is the movie. I mean, the movie, I don't think works that well without him. Now, moving on to directing. This one goes to Christopher Nolan, finally. Now, it's very well deserved, and just a massive fan of the guy. It's one of the, I think he's my favorite filmmaker currently working today. I mean, the man has an incredible talent, and Oppenheimer will sweep is going to be a 10 at the Oscar night, no question. I mean, it's going to win a lot of categories. This is my pick and my prediction here, and I mean, this is already done, and I think Steven Spielberg is going to hand that Oscar at the night that he's winning. Now, moving on, same thing with Best Picture. Do I even need to say that? I mean, it's going to be Oppenheimer. It deserves it, and it's going to be a big night for Oppenheimer. Very excited to see that live. It's going to be awesome, and see the entire cast and and Christopher Nolan on that stage accepting the award for Best Picture. I mean, it's just it's an incredible achievement in history, in movie history making. It just it was just it's going to be a big night for Oppenheimer. That's all I'll say. Now I'm curious to see your predictions, so you can comment down below in the comments and tell me your predictions. I'm very curious, who do you think is going to win? So that's my final predictions of the Oscars. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.